to be rich like a billionaire. Sometimes having all that money can go to your head and you think you're invincible. But then you lose it all. Elon Musk knows what that's like. Musk breaks the record for largest loss of personal fortune in history. He is not alone though. Wondering who else made the list of biggest net worth losses of modern times? Find out shortly. In December, Elon Musk lost his position as richest person in the world to Bernard Arnault, the chief executive of French luxury goods conglomerate LVMH, which owns fashion label Louis Vuitton. As of January 12th, Forbes estimates Arnault's net worth at $203.7 billion and Musk's at $146.5 billion. How did he do it? Most of Musk's fortune is tied up in Tesla stock, the value of which plummeted 65% in a tumultuous 2022, the Guinness World Records report said. That's a world record he might like to take back. The decline accelerated in October after Musk bought Twitter for roughly $44 billion, it said. Adding to that, growing worries about weakening demand and logistical problems have hampered deliveries for the world's most valuable automaker. As the market closed for the year on December 30th, 2022, Musk tweeted, "Long-term fundamentals are extremely strong. Short-term market madness is unpredictable. Did you know there are a few other billionaires who lost their fortune too? Sam Bankman-Fried is one of them. He is the co-founder of FTX, whose $16 billion fortune evaporated seemingly overnight. The 30-year-old's financial ruin has been described by some as one of the most significant losses of personal wealth of our time, if not all time. Ouch. As of Friday, Bankman-Fried, who goes by SBF, had filed for bankruptcy and resigned from his role as CEO of FTX, which was the second largest and fastest growing crypto exchange. In this case, it appears as though Bankman-Fried may be financially wiped out. But that's not always the result when the world's billionaires face rough waters. For some, a major business setback simply means their fortune has been reduced. The individual financial disasters like SBF's aside, the world's billionaires saw a significant drop in their net worth this year because of the stock market's bumpy ride. Tough times for billionaires, as Mark Zuckerberg had lost about $90 billion and Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk also lost considerably at $58 billion apiece. SBF's financial collapse is particularly noteworthy because he had been a high-profile figure and made himself an ally in the cryptocurrency world. Indeed, he spent much time lobbying power players in Washington, D.C. for better regulation of the crypto world. Despite promises to customers that their crypto investments were safe with FTX, it turns out that wasn't the case at all. SBF, who Bloomberg reports had $26 billion at his peak, lost it all amid the collapse of the FTX exchange. SBF's downfall is just the most recent empire to crumble, however. Here are some of the other notable individual financial collapses of modern times. Masayoshi Son, a Japanese billionaire, was once said to be worth a record-breaking $78 billion. However, his fortune took a sharp dive when the dot-com bubble burst in 2000, where he lost more than $59 billion in just one night. Wow! Despite this great setback, Son remains one of the world's wealthiest individuals with a net worth of $13.3 billion as of November 14th this year. And they said the Y2K didn't happen. Yet another power player impacted by the burst of the Japanese tech bubble between 1999 and 2000, Shigeru was worth a staggering $42 billion according to Forbes. However, as with Son, when the tech industry tanked, so too did a substantial portion of Shigeru's wealth. The founder and chairman of Hikari Tushin, who had earned the distinction of being Japan's youngest billionaire when he was 34, lost about $40 billion in just a few months, according to Forbes. It doesn't pay to brag. Brazilian Ike Batista, who once openly bragged that he was going to become the richest person in the world, had a meteoric rise and fall. He rose to to 8th place on the list of richest people worth a cool $34.5 billion and held the title of the richest man in Brazil. But it all came crashing down when his oil company filed for bankruptcy in 2013, followed by a downturn in the Brazilian economy in 2014. However, things quickly changed as his oil and gas company's assets began to diminish in value and became weighed down by debt which exceeded that of their valued oil business. As a result, he is no longer featured on the Bloomberg list of billionaires. Back in 2008, Ireland's richest man, Sean Quinn, was reported to be worth about $6 billion. In November 2011, Sean Quinn declared bankruptcy in both the UK and Ireland, making it the biggest case of bankruptcy in Britain's history. He argued that the bank calling his loans had a vendetta against him, but the Irish Banking Resolution Corporation maintained that they were simply trying to recover 2 billion euros owed by his family. This eventually led to Quinn's arrest in November 2012 on 3 contempts of court charges, which he blamed on being tough after being released 9 weeks later. At present, Quinn continues to fight the IBRC over what his children have described as total manipulation of their assets while they were still under false ownership. It appears that while they may have been listed as owners on paper, their father was controlling everything behind the scenes. Not only did he lose everything, Quinn also suddenly found himself in debt to the tune of some $3 billion. Like Batista, he is no longer among Bloomberg's list of the world's billionaires. Once upon a time, there was a Texas-born businessman known for his extravagant lifestyle, Alan Stanford. He was once a billionaire, but then it all changed when the SEC filed charges of fraud and money laundering against him in 2009. This led to the undoing of his $8 billion Ponzi scheme and sentenced him to 110 years in prison. His lavish lifestyle finally caught up to him, and he lost it all. If this is not a tale of why you don't play with money, I don't know what is. Vijay Mallya, a flamboyant playboy, sometimes referred to as India's own Richard Branson. He had built up an empire from his family's brewing business, investing in chemicals, fertilizer, and even an airline. But this party-loving entrepreneur didn't just work hard, he played hard too. His birthday celebration saw A-list celebrities performing, such as Enrique Iglesias and Lionel Richie, while he also splashed out on a Formula One team. Unbeknownst to him, though, was that his business was having trouble paying its staff. 2017 saw a defaulting on his loans and money laundering, the Times of India reports. Things weren't looking good for Vijay Mallya, and things went sour quite quickly. His airline had racked up over $1 billion in loans, and the authorities raided his home and office soon after. He attempted to flee India to Britain, but was still arrested twice in 2017 for his crimes. Fast forward to April 2019, he was still fighting extradition while living off help from his children, acquaintances, and even his personal assistant. In an attempt to live frugally, his lawyers offered a mere $37,500 per month expenditure, a far cry from the $24,000 he was originally spending each week. But no matter how much he tries to cut costs, Mallya is still facing the demands of paying back his creditors for their $1.5 billion. So there you have it, the biggest net worth losses of modern times. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.